Now,
that's not true at all.
President Obama will be hoping for a more favourable global economic backdrop during his next term as president. The Eurozone crisis hasn't gone away, of course, and this evening Angela Merkel flies into London to try and break the impasse over the EU budget with David Cameron. The EU wants a 6% increase in the budget over 7 years. David Cameron has called for an increase only in line with inflation. But last week, his own MPs rebelled on the issue, demanding a complete freeze. Well, one of those rebels, Mark Reckless, is on College Green. Mark Reckless, welcome to the programme. What do you want David Cameron to say to Angela Merkel?
Well, as Parliament said last week, we want not a freeze, but a cut in the EU budget, just as we're seeing cuts in domestic budgets across the country. And I'd like David Cameron to welcome Angela Merkel to Britain. But I think there's been a parting of the ways. And while you might expect Germany to want a cut in the budget, given it's the only country that consistently pays in even more than we do, the reality seems to be that they're so deep into the euro that they're prepared to pay higher amounts into the EU budget. And in this country, our Parliament and our people are not.
So are you expecting a clash between the two of them, since, as you say, there's been a parting of the ways? I mean, the newspaper headlines say it all. Discord over the EU budget. Angela Merkel threatens Cameron was a headline in the Süddeutsche Zeitung in Munich. And Merkel threatens Cameron with a clash, say the Financial Times.
Well, I hope it will be a professional and a friendly meeting, and I think it's going to be very difficult to reach agreement on the EU budget. But Britain and Germany have a lot of interests in common. I mean, Germany sells us, I think, 75 billion euros of goods every year, and I think we need to see a relationship with Germany where it's a supportive and a friendly relationship, but one where we trade freely with each other, but where essentially this country once again governs ourselves.
So what can David Cameron do to move Angela Merkel? What should he threaten her with?
Well, I think he should reassure her that whatever happens in terms of the budget, however much Britain is unable to go along with the EU and the way Germany wants to take that, we want to remain on friendly terms with Germany, and there should be free trade arrangements between Britain and the EU, just as the EU has with Switzerland and many other countries. And we want a good and positive relationship with Germany, but it would be easier to do that outside the structures of the EU, so we're not continually getting in Germany's way and stopping them taking Europe towards the political union they want, but where they're still able to sell to us and we're still able to sell to them.
But all the reports say Angela Merkel's fed up with David Cameron, fed up with the criticising and the harping from the sidelines, and she holds the chequebook, so she calls the shots.
Well, I think that's right, and I think that really supports what I've just said, that we shouldn't be getting in their way and stopping them taking the EU in the way that they want and always complaining from the sidelines. We should be better off as an independent country, sort of trading with Europe and governing ourselves. And I think Germany will still want to sell their BMWs and their Mercedes to us. We'll still want to export to them. And the fact that Germany is now so powerful within the EU, I think is a good thing, because they have a very strong interest in negotiating a free trade deal with Britain. And I think we'd be better off with that trade relationship, but are taking our own decisions in the UK for our own country democratically in our Parliament.
All right, Mark Reckless, thank you.